Hi and welcome to today's video. So today's video is all about the makeup products that I used in the month of March. It's basically a mix of both old as well as new products. I did do like a Kiko Milano haul recently, so I basically used quite a few products from that haul quite extensively in the month of March. So I'm kind of ready to give you my final thoughts on those products. And in addition to that, I had also pulled out a few things from my collection to use in the month of March, something like a shopping my stash. So it's a mix of both new as well as old products, and I thought I'd share them with you in this video. So let's get started. Let's start with some of the new products that I tried in depth in the month of March. So like I said, I had done a Kiko Milano haul. So these are all like new Kiko products. So Kiko had come out with their new spring collection, which is called Hug Couture, and that collection is absolutely beautiful, both in terms of all the interesting new products that they've released in that line, as well as, the packaging. I really liked everything about it. So I picked up three things. So one of the two things I picked out of the three from that collection are actually blush products. So I'll start with the blushes. So first off, I had picked up the Cheek Dew Light Highlighting Blush in the shade Cushion Coral 03. And I like I said, the packaging is just stunning. It looks like a nice macaron, and I love the baby pink here. Very, very much spring-like, and this is a spring collection, so I kind of feel that, the colors and everything are just perfect. And this is what the shade Cushion Coral looks like. I think I've already talked quite extensively about this blush in my last video, and maybe even in the video before that, because I really love this product. This is a beautiful baked blush, which has pretty much no kick up. It's almost like a cream when you go in with your brush, but it's clearly a powder. So it's kind of like a baked product. I don't think this is a baked gelée, but it is generally a very interesting baked blush. I don't think I have anything like this in my collection. It does not have any waning. It looks very much like the Rare Beauty blushes that I've seen. I do not own the Rare Beauty one, so I'm not sure how this compares with that. But this one, the formula is absolutely stunning. There's like I said, there's zero powder kick up. So even on your cheeks, when you put it on, it kind of just melts in with your cheeks and it looks like it's part of your skin. So I love that. And the color here is absolutely beautiful. You can easily build it up. You can easily tone it down. It has enough pigment that you can apply it in layers. And overall, I love it. It's a beautiful finish on the cheeks. I think it was I don't know if it was my last video, I think wearing this one. But yeah, generally it just gives you that lit from within glow. There's no visible specks of shimmer on the cheeks. This formula is absolutely stunning, and I wish that Kiko would stick around and use this formula more in their blush line going ahead, because I don't think they've done something like this before in terms of the actual formula in here. So I'm kind of excited, and I hope they kind of start releasing more products, more like they have like the other two products in this Cheek Dew Light Highlighting Blush line in this collection look like a highlighter and a bronzer, shimmery bronzer. So I hope they kind of incorporate this formula more into their highlighters and bronzers and blushes, because it's a very nice, interesting formula. So I really enjoyed it, and yeah, highly recommend picking this up if it's still available. I think it's kind of out of stock on the US website, but if you're based in Europe, I think you might have a better chance of getting your hands on that. Now, the other product which I also picked, which is also a blush, which I picked up from the Hug Couture collection from Kiko, is this Cloud Tint Lips and Cheek from the Hug Couture line. And this is very similar to the Fui Pudding Pot blushes. This is kind of, I think, Kiko's dupe version of that. But I really like the packaging. I think they've done a pretty good job. It looks very similar in terms of packaging with the Fui. Like, it has a glass base and, the kind of mushroomy top and everything. Everything is very similar. Even the texture of the product is very, very similar. I would say this is pretty spot on when it comes to dupes. And the shade I have is 02, and this is kind of like a cool toned pink, and more like a mauvey pink. And I love this on the cheeks. It just gives me that perfect out from the cold type of flush which you get, and I absolutely love that. And this is a very spring appropriate light pink color also, and I really enjoy using this one. And in the case of Kiko, this product comes with the silicone applicator, which I think in the case of Fui, you have to buy it separately. It's not sold with the blush. So that's a bonus. And I think it works really beautifully. What I like to do is use the silicone applicator and pick up the product from the pot and then put some on the back of my hand, and then I pick it up with a brush and buff it into my cheeks. So that's how I've been using this product. I believe the silicone applicator is more useful if you're planning to use this like onto your lips. So you just dunk it in and then you can just use the applicator to sort of put it all over your lips. But I actually haven't used this on my lips because it looks like it might be drying, and I do have dry lips. And even the Fui Pudding Pot blush, which I have, I don't think I've ever used it on my lips because I just know from looking and seeing the texture that it probably might not sit well on my dry lips. So if you are interested in trying this product, which is I think priced around $20, and recently I checked out the price for Fui, and I think they're pretty comparable in price. I don't think this one is much more expensive. I think it's probably comparable to Fui in price. And the benefit here is that you get the applicator along with it. And I think this is priced at $20, which I think is pretty good since you're getting the applicator as well. So if this is in stock, I highly recommend picking it up. I think the product is really nice. It's packaged beautifully, just like Fui. And I think the texture is pretty spot on as well. So yeah, the shades, the other two shades, I think one shade was more of a lighter shade than this one. The other one was more of like a brown red. The shade above this, 03 basically. I'm not sure again if all the shades are still available online because I think a lot of things from this collection have sort of sold out already. But yeah, if it is available, I highly recommend this color. And I think that darker red, which is 03, would also be a very nice shade. So yeah, again, highly recommend this product if you can still get your hands on it. And it is very, very nice, very beautiful on the cheeks. It doesn't look very, what do I say, flat matte. It looks again like it's part of your skin, and it looks very natural, at least this particular shade, probably because it kind of gives me that same flush that I see once I step out in the cold and get back indoors. So yeah, it looks very natural and it doesn't really look too dry or matte on the cheeks. So I really like that. And the other thing is this Kiko one, compared to the Fui, at least in my case, I find this to be slightly longer lasting on my cheeks. The Fui one, I do have a much more brighter shade than this, and I find that it does fade towards the end of the day, whereas this one, it kind of stays the same throughout the day. So I kind of like this a little bit better than the Fui Pudding Pots. And yeah, that is basically my opinion. So that's the other blush from the Hug Couture collection that I tried this month. The next blush product is actually a palette from my collection, and this is actually an old Estee Lauder palette, which was part of, I think 2022 or 2023 Chinese New Year related release. I think this was released in the year of the tiger, and I just absolutely couldn't resist picking it up then because of the tiger. The tiger is one of my favorite animals. I love this tiger here. It's also a very well-made palette. Like, this is not a sticker, this is actually embossed on here, which I think is really nice considering nowadays a lot of brands are cutting corners with their packaging. And yeah, this is kind of feels very luxury, very nice. And the palette inside also has the embossing on them. So it comes with 2 blushes and a highlighter. Sadly, this is limited edition, probably not available anymore. But if you do like to buy a brand new makeup from eBay or something, if you see this, I highly recommend grabbing it because I think all the products in here are super, super nice, and the packaging is absolutely stunning as well. And the blush shades in here are Alluring Rose and Rebellious Rose. And I just recently found out that Alluring Rose from Estee Lauder is actually a very popular shade that they discontinued. So again, another reason to pick this palette up if you see it somewhere on sale, because it's just absolutely stunning. And the highlighter is called Modern Mercury. I'm not sure if that's like a permanent product in their line or whether it was just part of this particular palette. But I really enjoyed taking this out to play. I actually have one of the blushes on today. I believe it's Rebellious Rose. The darker one I think is called Rebellious Rose. Yeah, so this is Rebellious Rose, and I think this is Rebellious Rose. Oh no, I think this is Alluring Rose. Sorry. So yeah, I have Alluring Rose on today. Rebellious Rose is also a really beautiful, neutral, everyday, usable blush. This is a highlighter which just goes absolutely beautiful with the two blushes in here. Love it. Absolutely stunning. So happy to take it out and use it again because yeah, it's one of my favorite palettes because every product in this palette is usable. The packaging is fantastic. And I believe this, when it came out, was also priced pretty reasonably for like a limited edition product and, you know, for being Estee Lauder. So I remember that it was pretty cool. Yeah, so now the next product is also from actually Kiko Milano, and this is also one of their newer releases. Before they came out with the spring collection, they had released, I think it was like a Ramadan/Eid collection, which was called Threads of Time. And I had picked up the bronzer from that collection, and I primarily picked it up because of the packaging. As you can see, the packaging, I love these palm trees. I love the colors that they've used. They're like really nice, soft colors, which kind of very springtime appropriate as well. Overall loved it. I love the gold accents as well. I don't know if you can see it. So there's like some, yeah, the window frames have some gold in there. It's just beautiful, gorgeous packaging. I picked up the bronzer in this collection in the shade Desert Sienna, which is number 02. And I really love this bronzer. This is the bronzer that I have on today. I think it's perfect for my skin tone. They do have one more version, which is shade 01, which looks like it's way lighter than what I usually use. So this is what the bronzer looks like. And like I said, this one is, oh no, I think my neighbor is going to start mowing the lawn. Okay, I will try to wrap up this video soon. So yeah, so this is the shade Desert Sienna. There are some other products in this collection as well, which are a lot of lip products and also an eyeshadow palette. Now, I don't really use powder eyeshadows that much, so I skipped on the eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow palette also has a very beautiful green toned packaging, which is very similar to this. So yeah, these are some of the products in this line. A lot of lip products, like I said. So I might pick up some of the lip products eventually during a sale. Yeah, this bronzer is like most Kiko bronzers, absolutely stunning on the skin. I don't know, Kiko does bronzers really well. They do a lot of good baked bronzers. This one is not a baked one, but even then it is, I don't know, it's just really nice. They just really know how to do their bronzers and blushes as well. So this one is kind of like, I think it's got more of a satin finish. It's not a full matte. And it just kind of brightens up your face in some way. Like it adds some, life back to your skin in some ways, without being too much. And it's a very layerable bronzer as well. So you can easily build it up, easily tone it down, very adaptable that way. So I really like that bronzer. And I think this is still available if I remember right. So if you are interested, I highly recommend picking it up before they sell out of this as well. So yeah, so that's another Kiko product that I used. And one more Kiko product that I used this month, but this one is an older product. This is from their Days in Bloom collection, which was their spring collection, I believe, either last year or the year before. I think it was the 1 year before. This is kind of like a stick highlighter. And this is a very unique highlighter in my collection because this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it clearly. It's kind of like this is what it looks like. It shifts. It's a shifty pink violet highlighter. So I decided to pull this out because recently I saw that Givenchy had come out with a new powder highlighter, which looked, not powder, baked gelée highlighter, which looked absolutely beautiful. It had kind of a shift between pink and violet, and it immediately the swatches, when I saw it, it immediately reminded me of this particular one that I already have. So I thought I would just take it out and use it this month. And I'm pretty happy to say that this is a beautiful highlighter. It's as good as I remember it when I first used it. I was very, very impressed with it, and then I kind of forgot about it. So I'm glad that the Givenchy kind of reminded me of this. And yeah, as you can see in this, like it does have a bit of a shift. And it just kind of melts in beautifully with your blush because it has a little bit of that pink. Any pink blush you wear, this is going to pair well with it. I'm actually wearing it today. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, but yeah, it's beautiful. The cream is not too creamy. At the same time, it's not too stiff. I think it's just right. So you can easily just dab it on to the tops, high points of your cheeks, and you can blend it easily with your fingers. So I really like this one, and I'm glad I have this in my collection. And I wish Kiko brings this particular shade back, because I think it's pretty cool, and it's kind of on trend in many ways. So as you can see with the shift and everything. So this was the Kiko Milano Days in Bloom Face and Body Stick Highlighter. I believe in the Threads of Time collection, they had come out with some stick highlighters which were very similarly packaged to this, but they sold out so quickly. I never really even got to see what type of products they were. I think I saw somebody talk about them on YouTube, but yeah, I never really got to explore it on their product page because it basically sold out. And then it was removed from the website. I saw it one day, the next day, I think since it sold out, they kind of removed it. Last but not the least, I think I will quickly go through all the lipsticks that I used this month. And again, I'm trying to speed through this video a little bit because I can see my neighbor is getting ready to mow the lawn. So yeah, so the new lipstick that I tried this month was again from the Hug Couture collection, and this is in the shade 04, and this is the Cloud Muse Lumi Matte Lipstick. And again, the packaging of these products are just absolutely stunning. I like the packaging of this lipstick. It has sufficient weight. It has a rubbery feel, including the blush. Even this has a bit of a rubbery feel, kind of like that NARS rubberiness. And this is what the shade 04 looks like. And this is like a nice bright pink. And the formula is absolutely beautiful. Although it's a matte formula, I find this to be very comfortable for my dry lips. It does not cling to dry patches. It does not fill in the fine lines of my lips, settle in the fine lines of my lips. So I kind of see this as a winner. It's as good as the NARS explicit lipsticks in my opinion. Like even those lipsticks don't bother my dry lips so much. So this kind of falls in that category. I really like how comfortable they are. They're very thin, so you feel like you're not really wearing anything. And this color, maybe because it's such a bright color, I feel like it stays put throughout the day. I don't find that much of, a fade, even with some level of eating and drinking. So overall, I really enjoyed using this lipstick, and I highly recommend picking this one up if you like the NARS explicit formula. I find them very similar, and even the comfort level also, I think it's very similar, and the feel, everything, I find it quite similar to the NARS explicit lipstick line. So highly recommend checking this out. It's called the Lumi Matte Lipstick. That's very interesting. I don't find it luminous in any way. It's probably like a satin matte. Even the explicit lipsticks feel like satin matte lipsticks to me. So yeah, I think that's what they mean by Lumi Matte. So the other three lipsticks are from my stash, and one of them, which I've been really enjoying using this month, was this one from YSL. This is the YSL Rouge Pour Couture, the Bold lipstick in number 16. So this is kind of like, it's almost like a My Lips but better shade for me. So this is what it looks like. And this one, it's a very creamy lipstick. It is pretty pigmented, like how the Bold line from YSL is supposed to be. I do not like the scent of this lipstick. That's the main deal breaker for me with this line, but I actually like the shade. It's kind of grown on me. I think initially when I first got this, I wasn't very happy with the shade. I wasn't very happy with the scent. I wasn't happy with a lot of things. I mean, I'm still not happy with the scent, and I'm still not happy about the fact that the actual plastic is very cheap. It just doesn't feel luxe. Like this just feels so cheap, like the base. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like YSL used to do better luxury packaging a long time ago. Like for example, the other lipstick that I used this month was from Makeup Revolution, and that's the Gloss Stick lipstick in Sugar Plum Mauve. And these lipsticks feel actually these ones feel slightly more heavier than this one. Yeah, this one feels like cheaper plastic compared to like an actual drugstore lipstick. So yeah, overall, I don't like the packaging, but the actual product I did enjoy using this month. I like how creamy it is. I like how pigmented it is. Again, the scent, not my favorite, but otherwise I think it's pretty okay as a product, but not really worth that price tag for that kind of dinky plastic packaging. The other product which I use this month is the gloss stick from Makeup Revolution, and that's actually the lipstick that I have on my lips right now. This is a very beautiful formula. I believe this is kind of like a dupe for some of the Fenty lipsticks. I haven't tried the Fenty one, so I'm not very sure, but I personally enjoy these lips, this particular line. I only have this in one single shade, and this has I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a candy kind of a scent, a sweet scent, but it's not so strong that it lingers on after you've applied it on your lips. Unlike the YSL one. I feel the YSL one, that fruity floral kind of scent lingers on for too long, which is one of the reasons why I don't like it. This one, although it's scented, like I said, it's pretty mild. It doesn't, like, I can't really smell it right now once it's on my lips. And this is a very creamy, glossy formula, and it's a pretty pigmented product as well. So once the gloss fades off, I find that the lipstick color still hangs on for a while. So it's kind of almost like a glossy stain in some ways. Maybe because it's a darker shade. I don't know if the lighter shades perform the same way. I'm thinking of picking up another shade in this line because I really enjoy this one. And this Sugar Plum Mauve is like, I wouldn't say it's too cool tone. It's a more neutral pinky type of shade. There's not much of a purpley mauve tinge to it either. I don't know. As you can see on camera, this is the shade that I have on today. I really like the feel of this. Again, very comfortable, glossy, perfect if you have dry lips. So that's the other one from my collection. Last product is actually a K-Beauty product. This is from the brand Wake Make, and this is their Wake Make Vitamin Watery Talk Tinted Lip Balm. And I have this in the shade Glowing Red. I believe this product has been discontinued. I don't see it online anymore. And this is almost getting close to its expiration date, so I thought I would just try and get as much use out of it as I can. I really like this product. It's a very, very comfortable tinted lip balm kind of a product. I wouldn't call it very nourishing, but it's a very comfortable product to just quickly dab on and just rush out the door if you're in a rush. It gives you some amount of color, some amount of that lip balm effect, so it works that way. And this particular product, I actually really enjoy the scent. It has a orange fruity kind of a scent, which is very rare. I don't have any other lip products which have like an orange scent, so I kind of enjoy this, the scent of this product. But again, once it's on your lips, you don't really get the scent that much, but when you apply it, I kind of like that orangey smell that I get. So yeah, so those this one, yeah, again, like I was saying, it's not as moisturizing as a lot of the other lip balms, but I do enjoy the color, and I also like how it is moisturizing just enough. I like this one, and kind of sad that this is no longer available, but yeah, like I said, I'm just going to use it till it expires, which is probably the later half of this year. So those are all the products that I used in the month of March. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in another one. Bye.